Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. And as we do each and every day, start with that fantastic view of our three different racing surfaces here. And as Brian and I tell you each and every day, it's just a couple of weeks away before we get on the turf. We're all excited about that. And it is looking really nice out there. So that'll be a little while. Lots to get to today, Brian. We got, what, 50,000 gross jackpot guarantee?
Yeah, and if you check the Prattle throughout the day, we've got that video running with Aiden showing the turf course and how good it looks and the job they've done. So golf clap to everybody around. It's coming. 50,000, as you mentioned, Ronnie, right back at it today on what is a pretty tough sequence. I know I don't want to speak for your rainbow, but my pick 5 late was a tough one.
No, it was tough all day long. There's so many different ways you can go. And, you know, the first race is going to start with 10 horses, about a mile and the 16th on the Topita. Maiden Claim is Fillies and Mares 3 and up, 12-5. And right off the jump, it's a tough race to handle. Let's see how you did with your early pick 5.
Yeah, I went 3 deep in here. We'll get to it in a second. It's a $30 play, a few scratches of some fringe contenders that I actually used in the later races. Number 7, What Not for Liz Dobles at a price in race 2. Here's the single in race 3. Triple Start, I think, is very, very logical. Odds on I made for Pletcher. Big spread in race 4 with the top pick Cajun Puzzler. I just got a feeling this horse might run today, Ronnie, off that long layoff, and then another single to get out in that sequence. Gilligan going to be very tough for Gilbert.
Yeah, that Cajun Puzzle got the old kitchen sink angle, getting everything today. So
I like that.
Threw the old kitchen sink at him to see if they can wake him up. I picked him second for all those reasons. Getting back to this first race, Brian, I went with the Holy Berries in here. Is dropping to the 12-5 level. Returned from an extended layoff for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. It fell to 5, but that was that $30,000 waiver claimer going a mile on the good Laurel Main track. I think this is, a drop down, maybe a shaky bit of a drop down in here.
You know, I think you made a good point, Ronnie, with the waiver claimer. I think with a better post, I might have been forced to make this horse the favorite. The Topita race is big. Now we're for Claudio. We got the tightener behind us. Yes, this horse didn't run, but note this horse showed a lot of speed that day. She kept it. I like that. We know how good Claudio Gonzalez is, with his claims, and I think now back on the Topita, all systems go today.
Now, the horse you have on top is Ria Formosa. This one from the Jerry O'Dwyer barn, and getting some class relief today. That race back in September turned out to be a key race.
Yeah, agree. And I just, I took a little stab here. I'll take a trainer stat here of Jerry O'Dwyer, who does such a good job in this kind of avenue here. And this is a little more condensed, but this is at Gulfstream, 3 for 14, 21% maiden second-time starters. That's what you get here. The overall sample, which is a lot bigger, is 28%. Now, admittedly, Jerry has struggled a little bit to get going down here. I think he's found his footing a little bit, though, in the last few months, and that stat, I think, plays. Marcos Meneses is here as well, and they do good work together. Let's take a shot at a price in a racer. You don't have to love the 2 favorites.
Well, talking about the favorites, Cat's My Gal, there's 2 horses that ran last time against each other, Cat's My Gal and Stare If You Must. We're going to pick this thing up at the, just when the top of stretch home. There you're going to see Stare You Must and Cat's That Girl. Now, Stare If You Must has the lead here, and you're going to see Cat's My Girl come up, and it looks like one of these where Cat's That Girl had Stare If You Must measured in here, but the co-2-to-1 favorite on the outside surprises both of them and comes up on the outside and gets them at the wire. So they both ran well. I like the way that Stare If You Must fought back. I used them third on my ticket, and of course Cat's My Gal being the morning line favorite. Jose D'Angelo winning races and bunches, and you get Miguel Vasco had a multi-win day yesterday.
And you just saw What Not winning. What Not, my top pick in race 2. We're going to get to that in a second. I think that race plays. I like this horse second off the layoff for Jose D'Angelo. I'm down inside, save all the ground, too.
Yeah, let's go to race number 2 this afternoon. And as you mentioned, about mile 70 on the Topita. Maiden Claimers, Fillies and Mares, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 2 in life, $8,000. Scratch the 8. Here comes Lovey, which was one of my picks, but not my top pick. We'll start with Ron, who just won that last race there for Liz Dobles after that win. That was at 9 furlongs now on the Topita.
I'm coming right back with this horse. I thought that was a solid, strong effort at a mile and an eighth, by the way, too. So we actually shorten up a little bit here. We've got plenty of foundation. We'll show you those Horse Racing Nation graphics later. This is the right running style. I don't know, Ron. Do you trust anybody in here? Give me a horse coming in off a win.
Yeah, you got a stat too on Elizabeth.
Yeah, let's
right?
check it out, right? And she does good work in this kind of arena. I think this is probably the best thing for her. Routing on the Tapeta, 20%. Look at the ROI. It's almost at a positive, which is pretty, remarkable in and of itself. Leonella's here. They're about 20% together. So I think it all adds up. I don't see any reason why Whatnot can't. I know it's a rise. We're facing winners today, but again, I'm not going to beat up this group too much. There's just no one in here you're supposed to be scared of.
Yeah, I went with the 10 J-Star Jet, drops to the 8 level after following the maiden score at 12-5. Chase the pace fourth against 20 claimers going mile 70. Chantal's going to ride for Donald Hunt. So just a wide open race in there, and I think that those horses will run well. Race number 3, 1 mile maiden special weight 2-year-olds. This is on the fast main track, and as you alluded to, one of these singles, Triple Star, who's a half brother to Grade 1 stakes place persistently.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on here. I mean, look at Ronnie and I got the super right in a rip there, and the 2 Todd runners hold all the aces in here, and I think Triple Star being the fresh new face off the Saratoga, and that's Belmont at Aqueduct turf race, but we got a lot of foundation. We've got a big class edge. And this horse looks every bit a 4-5 to me.
Yeah, no horse that won that race that day. Freedom Trail came back and won the AWOD Stakes in its next race. So instinctual, broke a little slow. We almost showed this video today, but it's a typical slow start, but it recovered right away. And then Diamond Cool is interesting, going back to the main track. Patrick Bincone, who's there? Leading jock Miguel Vasquez.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon, and this one is about 5 on the Tapeta Maiden, optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up. If they're not a Florida bred, they run for the 40 tag. Lost my top pick in here with Royal Quality, and I bumped up the number 5 here, Awesome Crusader, who doesn't really win that much.
No, and that's a little bit of a worry. I mean, they're going to bet him. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but boy, it just sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? 0 for 15, he got 7 seconds.
7 seconds, exactly. That's why I had him in second under Royal Quality. But I, too, agree. I think that Cajun Puzzler, as I mentioned, gets a full complement of changes. He's gelded, he gets Lasix, blinkers off, and he's going to try a different surface. Now he hasn't run in 18 months.
Well, see, I didn't know what to do with this horse on the morning line. I made him 6 because obviously we know how good Mike Yates is, and we've got the kitchen sink here, Ronnie. We've got the gelding, we've got the Lasix, we've got the blinkers, and who's riding? Miguel. Okay, those are the big positives on this horse. The negatives are Mike's 1 for 20 off this elongated layoff, and he's 7% on Tapeta all weather. So there's the good, there's the bad. We haven't seen this horse in a long time. The other good is he's not in for a tag. I do like that. We'll see what we get. Gaps in the works, slow works. Does he need one? What are we getting today? Ron, I just took a stab.
Yeah, I understand they did the same thing. What about Regimental Command on the outside? Showed some speed for Fernando Abreu coming off the bench.
Yeah, second off, right? So we go second off the layoff. We got Jaramillo from a nice outside attack post. And if you like Awesome Crusader, well, he wasn't that far behind. He doesn't have that much of a gap to make up. Who's got more upside, Regimental Command or Awesome Crusader? That's an easy question.
Yeah, so 5th race today is going to be 6 furlong claimer, 3 and up non-winners of 2 in life, $6,250. Scratch the inside horse, Chief Charlie, who was a big price on the morning line. And we both have interest in Gilligan, who's changing barns, going to the Gilberto Zerpa barn, and the gelding is dropping with blinkers added. Is this a shaky drop down there, too?
I don't know. Is it shaky or is it just time to get a W for this horse? We'll take a look at his stat because this horse hasn't done a lot of running of late. And he hasn't come close to winning. Trainer switch dirt sprints the past 5 years. It's a big one for a barn that has been white hot to start this Sunshine Meet with limited starters. I just kind of feel, Ron, let's just get a win with this horse. And if somebody wants to claim him, you know what? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I sort of agreed with you. That's why I put it on top. I did go with the number 6 horse in second, Whiskey on His Lips. He's stretching out to 3/4 of a mile. He returned from a 2-month freshening, and I thought finished a positive third. Now, he was 20-1 that day against similar quality for Dan Hertek. Jason Huayas, the apprentice, got a win yesterday, so he's in the saddle today. Just thought this horse might run well. You had the outside horse, Catching Magic, second. I had a little further out on my ticket.
Yeah, it looks like one of those races where, as a maiden that won last time, now facing winners, broke through in a big way. First start for the barn. Don't have to be scared of anyone but the favorite here.
Well, we are going to take a short break. And when you come back, I will show you my Rainbow Six ticket.
It's probably the most beautiful racetrack in the country, to be honest with you.
The background is just beautiful.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the grandstand and the racing. The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
The Gulfstream Championship meet has become one of the top events of the year. You could come out on a Wednesday and see a future Preakness winner.
They're off in the Preakness. The Run Happy Santa Anita Derby.
Got the unique 6.5 down the hillside turf course.
A whole lot of great racing here in California.
And we're off.
We have all three surfaces here, the only racetrack in the country to have all three surfaces. Being close to the ocean, being surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders in history, it's amazing.
It's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. There's no one else has a background like we do.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. Having a good old time here on Saturday morning at about 11:40 a.m. Race 6 is going to be about 5.5 on the Tapeta maiden special weight 2-year-olds. This is where it's tough, this sequence here. I'm going to show you my $43.20 ticket today, and I'm going to go 3 deep in race 6. We'll talk about it. My long shot is race 7, Mr. Sarcastic at 12-1, but I got some coverage. Race number 8, I went with Naruto on top, For the Love of Art, and Adios Papa Chico. I'll show you a video of that horse. And then in race number 9, I got my best bet of the day, Fly to W. Boy, this horse is so popular in the claiming box. First for Bobby DeBono, has a couple of nice wins. Stepping up a little bit in race number 10. This one, I went, Collaborate, Clapton, Jesus' team, the new horse from, starting here from Chile. Just a great race and wide open affair. And then the last, just went with Bankers, Hours, and Candenza, who had a tough start last time, or a couple of tough starts, I should say, in that race. So getting back to race number 6. 5.5 furlongs, no scratches, 8 in the field. Interested to see where you started this thing.
Well, I was sneaking a peek at your picks, and I didn't start it with Christensen. I got to play against this horse. Now, I went to Cutie down inside. Miguel's here. I think that's a big, big positive. They didn't really bet this horse on debut, but I thought he ran okay. All things considered, obviously the winner, Spy Hunter, was good. We always talk about this. I just think it's significant now when Miguel Vasquez gets aboard, and this is obviously no disrespect to Jason Reyes, but we're now going to our leading rider. You better take note here.
Yeah, and I thought maybe Christensen may have found the spot where he can remedy that chalk burning status after finishing third as the favorite, going 5.5 furlongs. Sort of a broken record, but getting beat as the favorite. Antonio Sano, Jose Morelos at the controls.
I'll give you that.
Right.
This is his group here today. I will give him that, but he just seems to always find one or two better. I've used him. I've needed him. He doesn't seem to want to punch it through in deep stretch, and it's time for me to fade Christensen a little bit.
Oh, so it's a grudge against pick. We'll see that. What about the number 5 horse in here, Spinning Musician?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Kent Sweezy. We've got Edgar Perez is here. How about this? The dam was on race. You know the dam was a half-sister to?
Who?
Old Mystic Guide, who went on to win about $8 million in the Dubai World Cup. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Her second foal, the other one was on race. We have no idea what we're going to get today. I like the job Kent Sweezy does. He's not really a first-out guy. But I think this horse is going to run a little bit today.
Yeah, Kent's, since he's come back, have been running well. Not that he didn't have a couple of starters during the summer, but he's back with a full barn, and he's been running well. Race number 7 today is going to be about 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. Claim is 3 and up, $10,000. Scratch the 911. Please note that number 13 horse, Dazzling Truths, will get in and run this afternoon, and you got your late pick 5 ticket here.
Yeah, this was the rework of all reworks because there were some key scratches. This was always the single, though. Tap Gold is my best bet of the day. An interior 4x4 double with For the Love of Art on top to the little better post today for Mark Cassie. In race number 9 on top is Mamza in race number 10. What a race. It's not a stakes only by name. I'm going to go, Ronnie, with Super Corinto. We'll talk about this horse. Of course, Collaborate is going to be tough. Jesus' team, maybe he needs one. The problem becomes in the finale now with the scratch of Royal Mahogany, who was my single. I got to rework the whole thing. We're going to come now to Harry's on the Beach, another maiden now taking winners after the breakthrough last time.
Yeah, the Harry's on the Beach I picked about 74 times, it seems like, and it hasn't gotten the job done for me. Got my long shot in here, and it's the 5 Mr. Sarcastic. And this one you have to sort of read through the lines for me. Took a positive step forward when moving to not only the Ronaldo Richards barn, And when he went to the all-weather surface last time out, I think he's worth the flyer at a price, and I just see that positive thing. It looks like they found where he belongs and the surface, and I think he bops through today and maybe gets the job done here. Mr. Sarcastic, Jose Morelos in the saddle.
I made him 12. He was 43 last time. We never, ever see that with Ronaldo Richards.
Right.
Won another race yesterday. I agree with you, Ron. He's a dangerous horse because if you want to be a little hard-headed, you looked just at that race on the Tapeta. Big effort.
Yeah, what about your best bet is the number 7 Tap Gold, who's another one taking a sort of a suspicious drop today.
You know what? I don't disagree with you, but I've said this. I use this term a lot. Rohan Crichton plays the poker as good as anyone in these spots. He claims for 22 back, gets the win last time. Now he's 9-5. He might be even lower than that. He says, you know what? I'm going to win this race. You want to claim me for 10? You go right ahead. I got a solid purse. I got 10. I already got out with this horse. Go ahead. And I just have a lot of respect for this barn and the way they bob and weave in these claiming races.
What number am I thinking of? How do you know what people are thinking? What number am I thinking right now? 4, Rye Sense of Humor, and that was a bad joke, but it was a little fun trying to make him laugh. Turning back slightly, stalked throughout and finished second against this level, going 8.5. Carlos David. Hey, Miguel Vasquez back in the saddle.
I mean, he's in the main danger, but you know what? Mr. Sarcastic was 43 last time. It's 43-1. He beat him by about a length, and now they're going to still be – the price is still going to be pretty different today. So, you know, I don't blame you, Ron, going for Mr. Sarcastic.
You know, and you are 100% right with the Tap Gold. If that horse, you know, runs to those last 2 $20,000 victories, the dance is going to be over very early. And that's why if you're not totally in agreement, you can get a price on a horse in there. Race number 8 this afternoon, 6 furlongs, maiden special, 8 state bred, 2-year-old scratch the 2, Power Humor, and the number 6 Cosmic Speculation. And you went with the number 7 horse in here for the Love of Art, I believe.
It's a post play. You know, he was on the rail last time. They bet him a little bit for Mark Cassie, and his assistant Nick does such a good job. This is a half to Jalen's Journey, who still kicking around, earn over $700,000. We know him well. I think he won the DeFrancis up at Laurel at our sister track. I just love the post after dueling from the rail last time. We go inside to outside. It's a huge bonus for this horse.
You know, we have our exacta flip-flopped in here. I went with Naruto, who's winning, on a sitting, I think, on a winning performance after taking that positive step forward when finishing that chase to pace second at this level. Freddie Plesa Jr., Kevin Krieger at the controls. Same reasoning. I just think this horse is on, you know, got the upside, actually made it the morning line favorite. I thought these were the 2 to go with. But I want to take a chance here to show you the performance of the number 5, Adios Papachico, who is being only half that. And I'm not going to show this race here was back in September 17. And why I went back 2 starts, this was at this distance of today. And I thought this horse ran exceptionally well in there, you know, being the number 11 horse, and just kept coming in the stretch. Now, tried 7 furlongs, didn't fare that well last time out. You know, connections don't start a lot of horses. I thought this horse ran a bang-up second in that race. So that performance, as I said, September 17, 2 starts back.
Yeah, you know what? And they've bet this horse in those last 2 starts. I didn't like the race last time, but you did say it was 7 furlongs. I think he was a pace casualty. If he can get back to that race, 2 back, and the winner that day, No Name Duke, comes back, wins the stakes for Jose D'Angelo. So he's coming out of the right races. He's just got to reverse that form a little bit off that dud last time.
Well, let's go to race number 9. We got a couple of really nice races to get to yet. And this one here is a mile 70 yards about. Starter optional claim at 3 and up. Starter for 12.5 or less, or the optional tag of 20. Scratch the 1. Scratch the number 6, Mr. McKay. And I have my best bet in here, so I'll start it off with Fly the W. Certainly very popular in the claiming box. Steps up for Bobby DeBona after posting consecutive victories against 10 claimers, going long on the Tapeta. Lionel Reyes, and they've been teaming up for lots of good wins. And here's the reverse of the horse we were talking about of your best bet. This horse has run very well, cheaper, stepping up today, so it's actually the reverse.
Yeah, you know, there's 6 horses between 7-2 and 6-1 on the morning line, and you could make a case for any one of those 6 being favored. Bobby D off the claim, 17%. We've got Lionel here. That's his go-to guy, 26%. It is a class rise, but you've got some ammo to go with, Ronnie, because he comes off 2 big wins in a row with big figures, too.
And you went with the 7 Mamza?
Yeah, I took a shot with Mamza. What's the matter with Mamza? He's gotten on the Tapeta twice, and he's looked like a night and day different horse for Joel Santiago. Those are big, big races. I like his post. He probably has to run a little better today, but I think he's going to be a square price. Your guy comes out a 10 win. My guy comes out of a 20K win. I think they both play in here, class rise and all.
Well, you know, we got Timmy M in here, Doobie Doobie, and Racecraft. So let's go back and visit these horses running from the 316th pole home. And you're going to see that, you know, Doobie Doobie has the lead right now. And Timmy M's going to grab the lead from him, the number 2 horse in here. And then you see Racecraft, who I thought ran maybe a little better because of just the earlier things in this race to run well. So these 3 horses are going to bang heads together. Just wanted to show you how that played out last time out. And, you know, Timmy M, second choice on the line. I think that's a logical place for this horse. And I thought Racecraft might be the sneaky if he gets the right trip in here, you know, the number 2. Who we have in second?
Yeah, and I think you said it perfectly, the right trip, because he was really, really wide on the far turn. I don't know if it cost him a spot, but he would have been a lot closer. They're going to bet him. That's the problem. It's Rohan. It's Miguel Vasquez. Look at it. He's 3-2 last time. He was evens 2 back. I still think on his day he's the horse to beat, but I also still think Fly the W and Mamza, like we're doing, I think you're allowed to do that in this spot too.
Race number 10 today, as we mentioned over the last couple of days. We didn't give a name to this race as far as stakes go, but it is a really nice race, and it's going to be a 1 mile allowance optional payment for 3-year-olds and up. The optional tag is $62,500. There are some nice horses in this race, of course. Very excited to see the return of Jesus' team. Is you know, banked them millions of dollars already. Hasn't been seen in a long time. But the horse that you put on top will start with Super Corinto. And this one was very interesting.
Yeah, stick around for the lightning round. We're going to show you the win last time. Now, he hasn't been out since April, but it's Amador Sanchez. Hey, look who's back here. Hector Barrios coming in to ride. I think that's significant. They're the go-to guys. Hector was moonlighting out in California this summer. We get Lasix going on. And the thing to note here, okay, you see that horse O'Connor, who Super Corinto beat in a Group 1 in Chile last time, and then O'Connor beat him 2 and 3 back. O'Connor absolutely flew here, last month for Safi. He's a player in the handicap division in 2023. I quite honestly, Ron, I don't know what we're going to get with Super Corinto today. I'm excited to see him run.
Yeah, you know, it's the mile is a concern. And
Yes.
talking about O'Connor, I pulled the PPs on horse because I was interested to see what won. He won on October 16th. He won by 6 lengths, and he got a 99 buyer. That is O'Connor for Safi Joseph Jr. So I just wanted to go back and double-check that. I did go with Collaborate on top, who's a $600,000 son of leading sire Into Mischief, who runs well fresh. Now, that's a check mark I wanted to see. Returns for who? Safi Joseph Jr., our leading trainer. Sort of a star-cross campaign in which he was stakes placed twice against non-graded stakes runners, and not so good. He was in the graded stakes in the Gulfstream Park Mile and, of course, the Florida Derby. They take the blinkers off for the return. I just thought this horse might be the pace action in here.
He's the ultimate Jekyll and Hyde horse in training. What are you going to get from Collaborate? If you get the good version of Collaborate, he's going to win today, and he might put on a show. If you get the bad version of Collaborate, he's going to be, look at him, he's 4-5 last time. He doesn't run an inch. Now we haven't seen him since September 4th. I can't trust him. I think he's the most talented horse in this race. I readily admit that, Ron. I just need to see it. I need to see more of it from Collaborate. You made a good note. This was back. I probably was back in September. Maybe it was even April. How good he runs on Lasix. Well, he had Lasix last time. He didn't do any running. So I got to see it. He's working up a storm. You know they're going to bet him, too. They always do. Let's prove it.
And what about, I want to go back. You faded this horse a little bit. The number 8 Clapton is going to try and make it 2 in a row. We're going to go back and show you this. We're going to pick it up at the top of the stretch. And there you're going to see Clapton. I just wanted to point out Noble Drama was also in the race. Now, this draws clear the defeat. Now, he beats Dean's Deliver and Noble Drama. I just put it in because it's closest to be third. I thought this was a game performance. And what's key about it, this was Clapton's first ever race at a 1-turn mile.
No.
So I thought this horse ran well.
It was a big effort. I don't think there's any doubt about it. There's old Noble Drama kicking in through the stretch. I remember we watched that. Said, look at him flying. It was a big effort. Question to me is now, can he get back to it? Because it seems to be far and above anything he's done. The other thing now is we're in open waters today. We got a Group 1 winner. We got Collaborate. Hey, Jesus' team is second in the Pegasus. we're getting an acid test today off a lifetime best. I wonder if he comes back a little bit.
Chantal Southern will
Yep.
be top. That Arundel homebred son of brethren, of course. The one that everybody wants to look at today, Jesus' team, a winner of more than $1.3 million, includes that second place finish in the Grade 1 Pegasus World Cup behind Nick's Go. Hasn't been seen, returns from the 15-month layup, hoping to recapture some of that past glory. This is Jose D'Angelo's baby. He's helped this horse along, had lots of different things go wrong while it was on the bench.
Yeah, this is a cool horse. Third in the Preakness. I mean, second in the Pegasus. An awesome, awesome horse. He went off form a little bit, admittedly. Now Jose's taken a step back, freshened him up. I think there's a couple things to note here today. This is not the end-all, be-all for Jesus' team. Obviously, Jose, in the perfect world, has got a lot bigger plans for Jesus' team than an optional claimer on November 12th. It's a starting out point. A one-turn mile run, I think you would probably agree with, coming off the bench is about as hard an ask as you can give a horse. He's down inside. Let's just see him get a good race today and reevaluate. That's the way I look at it. I'd love to see him come back running, though.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with
Yeah.
the horse who haven't fought Solo Volante. Who just, always seems to run okay. He's right there. He's got to come from off the pace. And, hey, we got tries, supers, and maybe this is a horse for that occasion.
He's the old kicker. That's
Yeah.
what they call it. You need a little anchor down below. Here's Solo Volante. He'll pass a bunch of them, but I don't think he can pass them all.
Well, let's go. That's a great race. I mean, that
Tremendous.
is really a nice race. So we'll go to race number 11 this afternoon. This one's about 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are claimers 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life. 12.5 down to $10,000. Big scratch of the number 4 horse in here, Royal Mahogany, who is the morning line favorite. Let's go with your horse first, and that's Harry's on the Beach, who I put a little further down on the ticket.
If you go back and watch this race, I mean, I know he won by 3/4 of a length. He was a month the best. He had trouble. He needed to wait to get through, and when he did, he kicked in a big way. I did not have this horse on top. He was in second, so I do move him up. I'll tell you what, Ron, I love this group he gets to play with today because on paper he's as fast as any of them, and we're going to talk about some of the favorites now, and you can knock all of them.
Yeah, definitely. I did go, well, like I said, I had the 4 in there, Royal Mahogany,
Yeah.
but I have Bankers Hours always on top, who's stretching out the 5.5 furlongs after responding in the first race under the tutelage of Efren Loza Jr. with a solid third-place finish against this familiar competition, going 5 in the Tapeta. Jairo Rondon is going to ride, and just like this connections, I like this barn. I think they're going to take this next step forward and maybe win the nightcap.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this barn, a super high percentage barn, got going again. We hadn't seen him in a while, got going in the Royal Palm meet. Now he's kind of been quiet. Now he's coming back, and you got Banker's Hours from Safi Joseph Jr. last time, was a good third. I think now we can comfortably draw a line through the route 2 back. He wants to sprint.
We're going to show you the performance of the horse you have in second and I have in second, and that is Cadenza. First, we're going to show you the start. There you're going to see is the number 10 horse that day, and you're going to see here just totally stays in the gate, blows the start. He's about 8-10 lengths behind the field when they start straightening out, so just never had a chance in the race. And there you can see him now. I like the way he closed. He finishes, he got to go between horses now. He ends up finishing a good 4th, but he lost it at the start.
Yeah. No
Totally.
doubt. And listen, we've talked about this time and time again in these Tapeta sprints. If you're going to give up ground at the start, you have no chance to run horses down. You need to be close early. If he can break with the field, I think he'll be a lot closer today.
And, I threw in, so did you, Lost a Legend, who's making the 3rd start of his current form cycle after a pair of well-meant second-place finishes, sprinting on the Tapeta. You can't knock these races.
No, I would have used him if I could. It would have blown my ticket up too much, but he was absolutely on the top line. His last 2 races are as good as anybody here.
Well, that's how we see that 11-race card, and it is very exciting. Can't wait to see that 10th race this afternoon, but we're not done. We got our lightning round, and you alluded, and we talked extensively about this Grade 1 winner, Super Corinto, and I think you found a video of him.
So here it is. We pulled this on YouTube. Now here's Super Corinto. He's going to be tipping out here. He's got kind of the black and yellow. You're going to see him take the lead. Now the horse that's going to try to run him down with no luck is that horse we talked about, O'Connor, that Ronnie said. I didn't even know he ran a 99. That's a huge number off the bench and all that. So these two have traded paint in their last 3 starts. O'Connor winning 2, Super Corinto winning 1 in this one here. Now, these are elongated distances over there in Chile and Peru, a lot farther than a one-turn mile today. That was impressive. Amador Sanchez has done well with these kind of horses in the past. The other thing is, I got a feeling this barn now is starting to go up again. We struggled a little bit in the summer, right? And we saw how good he was in the championship meet.
You know, Connor was at a mile in the 16th
Yes.
when he won here in the U.S., and this is a mile.
Yeah.
That was my only concern with that horse. We talked about it already in the handicap, and we'll see. I'm going to be really interested to see how they bet that horse today. What is your best bet today?
What is my bet? It's a tap gold in race 7, number 7. Tap gold at a short number.
Yeah, and I got the Bobby DeBona one, Fly
like
the
it.
W's 9-2, stepping up in race number 9. Long shot for you today.
Yeah, where is my long shot? Oh, that's right. Right off the rip here. Ria Formosa for Jerry O'Dwyer in the opener. Sitting it up there at 5-1 right now, early in the betting.
And mine is that horse that's 12-1 on the board for Ronaldo Richards, Mr. Sarcastic, named after my co-host here and everything. And, hey, you know, we got some of the greatest races in the country here today, but our sister track up there, Laurel's got $300,000 races,
Yeah,
right?
a trio of $100,000 stakes. 2 of them are for the 2-year-old, so obviously you can get on there and bet and watch it live. We've got the Smart Halo. It's a little $100,000 pick 3, too, as well, the James Lewis, and then the 38 Go-Go, 7, 8, and 9 at Laurel.
Yeah, and you know, we got Express Bet. It's got a really nice offer, of course, as part of our first family.
Yep.
And you can get the $20,000 November sweepstakes. And just go on there and check out all the rules and stuff, and you get a chance to make some really nice money through the month of November.
Chance to amp up the bankroll for turf racing in December, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
it is coming, baby.
Well, that's it. That's the morning show from me and Mr. Sarcastic. And we will be back here in a couple of minutes right after we turn it over to track announcer Darren Gagne.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place.
We back.
Northern Dancer, winner of the Florida Derby.
Yeah.
All the history, and all these great horses, trainers, jockeys.
It is Barbaro to the final furlong. He is a neck in front. Barbaro wins!
It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Sunday silence surges to the front.
First day, opening day of championship meet, I was kind of starstruck. You're watching LeBron James, and then next thing you know, you're playing basketball against him. That's how I felt when I'm riding with Donnie V, riding with Irad, Luis.
So many famous people come, Post Malone, Pharrell, J-Lo was there. It's epic.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
It's all about Knicks Go. Knicks Go makes it 4 in a row.
It's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country, surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders. It's amazing.